Welcome back, everyone. We're doing another episode of Indie Reads Aloud. I love having new authors on the program because it means my TBR pile gets to get bigger and bigger. And I especially like having children's authors on the program because then I get to give my nephew all the books I learn about. So this is doubly fun for me. Today, Natcole Staskiewicz is here to read for us. I'm so happy we met at a recent event. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me. Well, thank you.
It was really fun to meet you up at Port Huron at the event we attended together.
Mhm.
And I thought that the illustrations for your books were just so delightful. I wanted to learn about the stories. And as you know, with those events, we don't get a lot of time to chat. So it's a great opportunity to have you on the program now. Can you tell me a little bit about your writing journey and how you decided you wanted to write children's books?
My writing journey started roughly about 7 years ago, and my kids, they are my motivation in everything, every step of my life. And so with the pandemic, that put a lot of things in perspective, and just also looking at the surroundings that we have, the messages that's missing, and just thinking of what I want to leave for my children and other children, and then uplift and inspire. So it started with them. They're the focal point of my motivation, and I got the inspiration to really start from my daughter's drawing, and she created that first character, and a story began to unfold in the back of my head, and one thing led to another, and here we go, many books later.
That's fantastic. I love that you have that family cooperation, that you're doing this together. Your daughter is the illustrator of your books, right?
Not all of them. My
Okay.
my
But the one
first
you'll
book,
be reading today.
well, the one, actually, I'm sorry, the one we're reading today, she's not the illustrator of, but
Okay.
that's how I got started.
Okay. So who illustrated the book you will be reading today?
So it is Zuzana Zavoda. I may be
Okay.
butchering her name, and I'm so sorry if I am, but she's a very, very talented illustrator. And she's illustrated many books that have wonderful, powerful messages. And I wanted to make sure that I collaborated with her on this special project.
I love the characters' faces on the cover of this book. They're
Mhm.
so delightful. They're just, you can see there's a little bit of mischievousness behind them. So I'm really excited to hear the story.
Yes.
Today you're going to be reading The Great Grandma Buffalo, right?
Yes. I'm going
Excellent.
in the Great Grandma Buffalo.
I'm so excited to hear this. When you are ready, please take the microphone and read aloud.
All right. So I'll be reading here The Great Grandma Buffalo, which is inspired by the real Grandma Buffalo. So let's see if you can guess who the real Buffalo is. So here I have included a generations map where you can fill out your family tree.
That's a really awesome addition to a book. That's very cool.
Thank you. And I'll save the dedication for the end.
Okay.
I'll keep you guys guessing. Who is the real Grandma Buffalo? So here it is, the Great Grandma Buffalo. Christmas time is almost here. It's a time for family, love, and cheer. Dad said to his son with a smile, "Today you'll meet someone worthwhile." Hmm. On that card there, what does it say? Does anyone make handmade cards? It says, "With love, Great Grandma Buffalo." The son's imagination began to run wild, filled with all the happy thoughts of a fun, excuse me, filled with all the happy thoughts of a small child. He thought, "Great Grandma Buffalo, oh my, what adventures will we try?" Ride on Grandma Buffalo through fields of green, fighting this nights, a sight to be seen. In playful battles with armor and sword, we'll charge and defeat any imaginary horde. Go on make-believe quest with cheer. With Grandma Buffalo, never fear. She's loyal, fearless, always by your side as you explore and in your adventures abide. Look at that. They're doing everything. He has it all figured out. In outer space, we can soar and fly with Grandma Buffalo by my side. Who would like to travel in space? So many nice, wonderful planets. Exploring the galaxy, we travel far and wide. Together, we discover new worlds and start to ride. Oh, it's a little creature over there. I don't know. Is he a friendly? What do you think? On the ice with Grandma Buffalo, she's a natural, don't you know? Her hooves glide and slide with grace, helping me keep up a steady pace. Now they're ice skating. They're doing everything. But when they arrived, he saw with glee a grandma with hugs and kisses for free. Who is this lady? Though she was not a buffalo that's big and strong, he tilted his head, wondering where he had gone wrong. He's wondering, like, that's Grandma Buffalo, right? Who is she? With a chuckle and a grin on his face, the father explained with a gentle pace. Since I was just a child, Grandma Buffalo she became, living in New York, proudly bearing her name. With two grandmas in our family tree is how this special name came to be. Isn't that something? I wonder, what nickname do you have for your grandmother? The son laughed and realized his silly mistake. Feeling lighthearted, his spirits did not shake. She welcomed him with open arms. It did not take long to fall for her charm. Being silly. So they spent the holidays together, making memories that would last forever. Look at that. They're having hot cocoa, they're building a snowman, and they're making cookies. How many of you have made cookies for Santa with your grandmother? It's really fun. With love, joy, and lots of good food, their bond as a family was truly renewed. That is the end. And I'll read for those of you that have guessed who the real grandmother Buffalo is. That would be this lady right here. This book is dedicated to Michelle Rannick Staskiewicz, my cherished mother-in-law, who is also known as the Grandma Buffalo. She was a remarkable grandmother to my children, deeply devoted to her family, and incredibly active in their lives. Through this book, I am to honor her memory and contribute to her enduring legacy. The end.
Fantastic. I
Thank
love
you.
that story. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
It brings back memories from my childhood because we had nicknames for our grandparents as well. Because you have to tell them apart.
You do.
You know, for those of us who are fortunate to have two sets of grandparents, and now with today's blended families, some of us have even more grandparents. It's a wonderful story. How
Thank
lovely.
you. Thank you so much.
So give me an idea, how long did it take for this story to germinate and then finally make it onto the page?
This story probably took about well, you're talking about the whole illustrating and everything, right?
No, just how
the
long did it
writing?
take you to come up with the story? Yeah.
Oh, so that took about a couple weeks.
Okay.
Couple weeks.
And then of course illustrations after that always take
that takes a good while for some, you know, the illustrator taking her time and making sure the illustrations are really nice. But like I said, this book is inspired by my mother-in-law, and it's so many different traditions and support and love that she provided. And you know, my kids, they have great grandparents on both sides. And but we lost her not that long ago. It doesn't seem like that long ago. Time stands still. But
Yeah, right.
I wanted to create something. My kids, they had a wonderful experience with them, and
Mhm.
it made me think about when they talk about her with their kids. How
It's a
it had,
really
yes.
great, it's a writing a book like this is a wonderful way to create a lasting legacy of her and her memory and her interaction with your family. I just think it's amazing. Well
Mhm.
done.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Thank you so much.
So tell us what else you're doing in the writing world. You have other children's books, correct?
Yes. I have Lacey's Moon, which is the one that I did with my daughter. It's about a little girl learning to cope with grief with the unexpected help from the moon. I
Okay.
have Dear Child of Mine. I have a son and daughter version of that one, and you have a parent that's providing words of encouragement to be whatever they want when they grow up. I have Kindness is My Thing, which encourages kids to think outside the box when delivering kindness and not worry what others think. I have Bravery is my thing, and that also follows the same character from Kindness, and she's learning to unlock courage from within. And I have a Kickstarter going for the last book that I did, which is called Happy Birthday Crimpleton. It's about a prince hedgehog that is planning his birthday party for the very first time. He has no concept of kindness, manners, any of that. He's the prince. And when it's time for him to plan his day, he's interacting with each person, and he invites them, and they follow up with a question. Are you asking me to come as the Prince of Woodbury, or are you asking me as the friend?
So
And
he has to learn about empathy and intention,
yes,
and he has to get off the entitlement train,
yes,
right? And start interacting on a more intimate level with people. I think it's a fantastic idea for a story.
yes.
Fantastic. I look
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing it. You will be back to read more of your books for us, yes?
I will. I will.
Yay. Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today, Natcole. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.